Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to farm Calianite. Now, I unfortunately recorded this video once and it messed up. So I'm having to record it again. But it is what it is. So, let's talk about a few things you can do to kind of farm. The most efficient ways you can farm Calianite is what I'm trying to say. Also, real quick, I've got to say it again. They're working on my building, and they're apparently going to be working on my building for the rest of my life. So there's going to be some banging and saws and stuff in the background. Nothing I can do about it. So hopefully they've chilled for a minute and it won't be a problem, but I figured I would mention it just in case it happens. Okay, first thing, if you're a spender to any degree, come in here, go to the packs, these half moon cards, right? The smaller half moon card, you get gems for it. It's a pretty nice little deal. You get daily, you get gems immediately, you get daily gems, and you get 20% additional Calianite while the card is active. Now this means anywhere that Calianite drops from you beating it, so campaign, catacombs, things like that, you'll get 20% extra. It doesn't mean, I don't think that it means you get a 20% bonus on what you sell your runes for, but either way, it's still nice. I think I would like to see a 2x Calianite, honestly. Maybe even in the better half moon card, because I feel the pain when people are saying it's really hard to farm. The rune power-ups get really expensive and it goes real quick. I definitely feel your pain. If I can offer a rebuttal to that, though, in defense of the game, there's never a cost to remove your runes or change your skills, right? You can do those both free forever. And in Raid, for example, to remove a 6-star artifact was 100,000 silver. To remove one was 100,000. So if you had someone with full 6-star gear and you wanted to take it off of them, that was 600,000 silver just to remove the runes, right? So while yes, I'll agree, it feels like it's super grindy and the rune power-ups are really expensive, the fact that it never cost you anything to remove your runes, I think, is a pretty good trade-off. Again, I understand that it's frustrating, and there's times where I'm like, man, I've been farming this long, and I've only made this much. So I feel your pain for sure, but I just wanted to offer up a little perspective, maybe to ease that a little bit, or to maybe a little understanding, especially if you're newer to these types of games. Being able to remove your runes for free all the time is huge. I think Summoner's War only gives you 1 day a month, which is what I was used to and I thought was sufficient. Spend that day reworking and live with it for the month, right? But here, there's no cost. So anyway, I've rambled about that long enough. Let's talk about farming the Calianite. Again, if you're a spender, get the smaller half moon card. That'll put you up. That'll give you a little 20% boost to the Calianite you drop. Now, the first advice I want to give you, if you've seen my experience farming guide, which I'll card to now. If you've seen that, you know that Blackpool Hills is the place to farm experience, right? Now, also, you can farm Calianite from here. It is not the most efficient way. Well, I'm sorry, it's not the fastest way, but it is very efficient, actually, because you can come in here and you can be leveling up your heroes, whether it's heroes you're trying to build or food. You can be doing that and making Calianite, because Calianite's going to drop from the run. And then, depending on where you're at, nope, no. You're going to be selling runes. Now, you'll get to a certain point where you've got enough slot 1 guard runes that you won't even need the 5-star ones anymore. You can set it to sell every rune that drops from here, right? This is going to speed up the rate at which you see your Calianite go up. I've got to give you a really important piece of advice if you're going to do this, because you are going to forget that this is on and go to the catacombs to farm runes, and it's going to be selling all your 5-star runes, okay? So I'm going to even have to start doing this. When I come into campaign and farm, I'm going to have to take a Post-it note and stick it on my monitor that says, fix your auto sell options before you go farm runes, because I farmed for about 2.5 hours yesterday and in C10 with this on. So who knows what I sold, right? But if you're under the impression that 5-star runes can't be good, you have to change that, because there can be some fantastic 5-star runes, okay? There can be some really good slot 2 speed runes. A rare 5-star rune with a speed substat in a perfect world can roll 15 speed. 15 speed is a solid substat, okay? So don't think that you need to get that picky in the catacombs. You at best do this, and if you're a little earlier in the game, do this, right? Keep the 4 and 5 star and go through and filter them out. But in campaign, if you've got a handful of slot 1 guard runes already, just set it like this and farm, okay? You'll see your Calianite go up much quicker. So you can do that, and again, you'll be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. It's very efficient. You'll be leveling up heroes, leveling up food, and also making Calianite. If you are completely uninterested in experience and you only want to farm Calianite, one thing you can do is come up here to the boss stage and do it. Now, it's going to cut the experience in half. So again, if you don't do it if you're interested at all in experience. I don't necessarily recommend this. I'm just telling you it's an option. Rune drops in here. There's more potential for quality, right? Some rares can drop. So the runes are going to sell for a little bit more frequently, which over time is going to add up, okay? So if you're not interested in experience at all, which again, I don't necessarily recommend. Sometimes it's better to take the slower, more efficient route. But if you're in a hurry, I think that this will probably make you some Calianite a little quicker, right? The slots can be different, and like slots 2, 4, 6 usually sell for more than slots 1, 3, 5. So there's more rune drop potential, so higher sell potential there. And then again, you're going to see a lot more greens and blues, because blues aren't going to drop from 1 through 6, and those are going to sell for more as well. So your currency is going to go up quite a bit quicker if you're farming 7 instead of 1 through 6, okay? So worth a shot if you're in a hurry. Now, beyond campaign, the best way to farm Calianite is going to be in your dungeons. See Colossus and Leviathan. So whatever stage you can farm, if you're at a point where you're in here looking for runes, this is really going to be where it happens, right? And where the currency is going to come from here is not necessarily the drop from the stage. That is going to be nice, and it will add up over time. But where your currency is really going to come from here is over time, the pickier you get with your runes, or if you start getting bad runes. Now, one of the downsides to us not ever seeing flat stats in 2, 4, or 6 is that we're selling a lot less runes, right? A lot more runes are worth keeping that we're getting, because usually there's a gamble of 2, 4, 6 being like attack percentage or flat attack. And in the stats, in the description of the runes in this game, it says that's possible. So on one hand, it's amazing that it doesn't actually seem to be possible, right? Because again, a lot more runes are useful. Your rune quality is going to go up a lot quicker. It's going to be a lot less difficult to farm for certain runes that you're needing. So it's an amazing thing. The downside to that is that you're keeping a lot more runes. You're selling a lot less runes, which means you're making a lot less mana, right? You're making a lot less Calianite. So I don't know if it's because the game is so new, and maybe they're trying to like let the game get a little depth before they implement the flat stats at 2, 4, 6. And, you know, maybe I don't know. I don't really know what the plan is there. But it says it's possible, and it's not. I'm not complaining, because, again, it's nice to get the runes you need. But your currency would go up a lot faster if that was not the case. So farming here and then going in and selling your rune. Now, the first time I recorded this, I said I had to record this twice. I had 1.1 million mana. I came in and I sold some guard runes, which is the ones that I was farming from campaign. I had 77. I'm down to 21, and that put me at 1.4 million. So that was a quick 320,000, right? But you can see I've been farming C10 quite a bit. So all the runes that drop from there, I have a surplus of. So now what I'll need to do is come in and clean out my runes, because, you know, I don't need 54 blessing runes. I don't need 51 attack runes. I don't need 50. Like, I don't need this many of these runes. So you'll farm for a while, and then you'll come into your rune inventory and you'll clean out your rune inventory, and that's going to be a huge chunk. I bet you I make at least 1.5 million minimum from coming in here and cleaning out my rune storage, right? Which I might do on stream. Sometimes people like to watch me clean out my runes. It helps them decide what runes are worth keeping and stuff. So if you want to check that out, I'll do that over at twitch.tv/JGigs. I don't know when, but I go live at 6 p.m. Eastern most weeknights. So if you want to come hang out, there's a link in the description for that. Also a link in the description for my Discord if you want to pop in there and get with the community. Ask us any questions, you know, just hang out. We always like seeing new faces in the streams and Discord, so and we're happy to help. So also any questions that you have about this, just drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to get to you and help you out here. You know, there's a few different ways that you can get it done if you have a question. So that's pretty much it, though. It's going to be get the little half moon card if you're a spender. That's an extra 20%, which will add up over time. Farm your campaign, and then come into your catacombs and farm your runes, and then occasionally come in and sell the runes that you don't want to keep, and that's going to be where most of your currency comes from. So hopefully that answers the question. I get that question a ton, so hopefully that helps you get an idea of how to approach doing this, and you can get that Calianite up, because again, I do feel you. It is probably the most brutal grind in the game, honestly. So hopefully it helps. If it helps you, like the video, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps me out. And other than that, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys later.